Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
Hello all and welcome to today's podcast. I am your host, Noe Magana. As always, I invite you to follow my blog at
noemagana.wordpress.com. That's NOEMAGANA.
for the latest articles on homeschooling. Today, I will review my family's experience about my daughter's first semester of kindergarten. And to recap for those who are new listeners to the podcast, my 5-year-old daughter began school in August. For several talks between my fiance and I about what was best for our daughter's education. If you want to hear the reasons why we lean towards homeschooling instead of traditional school,
Listen to last week's podcast.
So let's begin. My daughter is enrolled in Ocean Grove's charter school, which is based out of Monterey, I think. I'm not too sure. She gets funded $1,100 each semester for school materials and activities like field trips or classes she might be interested in. Before classes officially began, we met with the education specialist that was assigned to us to go over what was expected to be taught throughout the year and what skills and knowledge our daughter should have at the end of the school year. She was expected to know numbers up to 100, add numbers up to 10, know the alphabet, basic story comprehension. I should point out again, mostly to brag, that before school began, my daughter already knew the numbers up to 20 and could recognize some numbers that were bigger. She already knew how to add and subtract with her fingers, knew the alphabet, and already understood basic concepts and stories. I'll start by talking about what kind of work she does on a day-to-day basis. My fiance prepares workbook pages she needs to complete in math, language arts, social studies, and science. For the first month, she would complete a week's worth of pages for every subject. Along with worksheets, she was given videos to watch on whatever subject she wanted to learn, and she needed to draw and answer questions regarding the video. One of the first videos she watched was about the ocean, and she learned about the ocean zones, and she drew what kind of animals live in each zone. My daughter also practiced sight words, which are short words, and flashcards to help her sound out letters and begin to read. Once a month, my fiance, my daughter, and I met with the education specialist to review her work and her progress. She comes to her house and socializes with our daughter and asks her about all the work she has completed. If the education specialist believes we are behind, she tells us what we need to do more or suggests ways in which other parents teach their kids and have been successful with. The first month, she suggested practicing more Spanish with her and to use flashcards to put around the house so she can get more familiar with the terms in Spanish. In the second month, my fiance tried a different approach in teaching her the materials. She loosened a little bit and let my daughter dictate what she wanted to learn and how she wanted to learn. She didn't do as much worksheets with my daughter because she would get bored quicker. She continued to do math but began using money concepts to teach her addition and subtraction. So they played store more often. They began looking at maps to learn about specific states and to be able to locate them on a state map. For science and language arts, my fiance would let her go outside and look around and ask questions about anything.
For example,
I remember I came home from school, and as soon as I walked into the house, she told me she had learned about trees and the roots and how they use the roots to get water, and that the big stick under the leaves are called trunks. She also told me that when you cut the tree by the trunk, what is left is called the stump.
She was very excited about all that.
And then besides what my daughter was learning in and around the house, my fiance made a point to get her involved in other activities outside the house. With the funds given to her, my daughter attended art class with our other homeschooled kids once a week for 6 weeks. She also began to attend ballet dancing every Saturday for an hour. She tried swimming lessons twice a week for 3 weeks, but was reluctant in continuing.
she was kind of scared to take the next step.
So we decided not to push her because it might cause her to fear the pools or even more. Despite having sufficient funds to do other activities, my fiance also got her involved in free activities with other homeschooled families in the area. My daughter is a frequent visitor to
The county library.
where she partakes in activities they offer. There she has made several friends. There's one in particular who she has a special connection with. They do play dates and have even traded shoes for the week. My fiance also got her involved with a group who met twice a month in a church in Salinas. There the parents split responsibilities and teach classes in a more traditional way so the kids can be familiar with the format. When I get home before her bedtime, I get to hear everything that she learned in the day and all the new friends she has made. I also get to make books with her. It's a new hobby she recently got into. She draws 5 pages and then she tells me what to write in each page. Every time we make a book, it seems to be growing and growing, but the categories seem to stay the same. She always makes books about princesses and falling in love. I personally blame for that, although I should be blaming myself for letting her watch those darn movies. As much as I don't like Disney, I think it has helped her with art, though. She can draw princesses and other characters very well. The more she watches a specific show, the more detailed her drawings are of the characters. She already went through her Elena of Avalor phase, and now she is in the Vampirina phase. I think she only watched the show like maybe once or twice outside of the house. With chalk, she drew a portrait of her, and it was way better than I would have drawn by just watching her once or twice. And that pretty much sums up what homeschooling looks like for my daughter. And like I did at this end of the first podcast, I will
Direct all the credit
to my fiance, who has stayed up late countless times to make sure the agenda is set for the school the next day. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to
Follow noemagana.wordpress.com for the latest on homeschooling.
remember, always do your homework. Take care, listeners.
And sing a